6 medium-length haircuts that instantly lift and brighten your face after 60. And none of them involve cutting your hair short just because someone said you should. Because the truth is, age has nothing to do with losing beauty, but it has everything to do with how we've been told to hide it. At some point, someone decided that turning 60 meant playing it safe. No movement, no edge, just blend in and age gracefully. And for so many women, that translated into flat haircuts that drag the face down, hard lines that emphasize every wrinkle, and styles that quietly say nothing. But here's what no one told us. The right haircut doesn't just frame your face. It lifts it, brightens it, softens the places we're taught to be ashamed of, and brings attention to the ones we love. In this video, I'll share 6 medium-length haircuts that do exactly that. Each one is designed to add light, shape, and movement, without ever feeling like you're trying to look 30 again. This is about choosing styles that finally feel like you, only lighter, sharper, more alive. You ready? Let's get to the good part. Style number 1, the Layered Shoulder-Grazing Cut. We were taught that once you hit 60, hair should be short, clean, elegant, as if turning down the volume was somehow a sign of maturity. And for years, many of us did just that, trading length for respectability and softness for structure. But here's what nobody mentioned. Those shortcuts, they can actually sharpen the face in all the wrong ways, especially when they stop at the chin or higher, pulling attention down to the jawline, making it feel heavier, more defined, sometimes even harsher. Not exactly the uplifting effect we were promised. Enter the Layered Shoulder-Grazing Cut. It's the quiet powerhouse of flattering hair, just long enough to soften the lower face, just layered enough to bring movement around the eyes and cheeks, and it doesn't overwhelm your features the way some longer styles can. The magic lives in the balance. It hovers at that sweet spot where the length draws the eye downward gently, not sharply, and with layers that move, bounce, and subtly curve around your face. You get an instant lightness that shows up even before you smile. I had a client once, 63, stylish, but stuck in the same chin-length bob she'd worn for over a decade. She thought it was the safest cut for her age, but her face always looked tight. Not bad, just tired. We shifted her to a shoulder-grazing shape with angled layers starting at the cheekbone, and the change was subtle but powerful. She said, "I finally feel like my face is breathing again." And that's exactly what this cut does. It gives your features room to move. It removes that boxed-in feeling. It plays well with natural texture, whether your hair is straight, wavy, or somewhere in between. And the best part? It grows out beautifully, so you're not stuck in the salon every 4 weeks trying to fix it. So if you've been thinking of going short because you should, pause. This length might be the middle ground that lifts you up instead. Let's keep going, because the next style is a total confidence builder, especially if you've been craving a cut that feels like ease and elegance rolled into one. Style number 2, the Soft Curved Lob. I used to think a lob was just a grown-out bob, something you landed on by accident between real haircuts. And I treated it like that, a placeholder. No edge, no intention, just hair. But then I discovered the curved lob, and it changed everything. Unlike a blunt lob that hangs heavy at the ends, a soft curved lob is shaped to follow the natural line of your face. Instead of flattening your features, it hugs them. Picture this. The ends of your hair gently curve inward at just the right point, grazing your collarbone, drawing the eye toward the center of your face and lifting attention right back to your eyes and smile. It's subtle, but it works like magic, especially for women over 60, where angular cuts can sometimes feel too harsh or too boxy. This version adds softness without sacrificing structure. It gives movement without frizz. And most importantly, it flatters mature faces without shouting for attention. One woman I worked with, mid-60s, striking cheekbones, but felt like her face had lost its glow. Her words, not mine. We gave her a curved lob with barely their layering, and the moment she saw herself, she said, "Why does it look like I've slept for a week?" That's the power of a shape that works with your bone structure, not against it. It also grows out like a dream. The shape holds even as the length shifts. No awkward phases, no heavy ends dragging you down. You can tuck it behind the ears for polish, wear it loose for softness, or flip it out for a little fun. It adapts to your mood, not the other way around. And let's talk effort. This cut doesn't ask for hours in front of the mirror. A little round brush action or a flat iron with a soft bend at the ends, and you're out the door. It looks like you tried, without you having to. If you're craving a style that says, "I'm relaxed, but I still know what I'm doing," this is it. Now, if you're thinking, "But what if my face just looks tired no matter what I do?" You'll want to see the next one. It's made for exactly that. Style number 3, wispy feathered layers. Her daughter said, "You look tired, even when you're not." That's when she knew it wasn't her makeup. It wasn't even her mood. It was her haircut. The shape was too heavy, too still. It sat on her shoulders like a curtain, blunt, stiff, and dragging her whole face south. The real kicker? She thought it was flattering. Sleek, polished, age-appropriate, but it was doing the opposite. It was pulling her features down, making her cheeks look hollow, her eyes less awake, her energy dimmer than it actually was. That's where wispy feathered layers come in. They're not choppy, not wild, just soft enough to break up the weight around the face, especially in the lower half, where drag happens fastest as we age. These layers create gentle air pockets, movement, texture that dances with light instead of swallowing it. Here's what makes it work. Instead of anchoring the face with thick lines, wispy layers give it lift. They skim the cheeks, soften the jawline, and bring back that elusive lightness, the kind that turns "you look tired" into "what skincare are you using?" It's also one of the best styles for fine or thinning hair. Unlike one-length cuts that emphasize lack of volume, these layers trick the eye. They make your hair look fuller without puffing it up. It's fullness with finesse, and emotionally, it's a confidence reset. One woman told me, "I didn't even realize how weighed down I felt until the cut was gone." That line stuck with me, because sometimes you don't notice how much your haircut is taking until you finally get one that gives back. If you're someone who's been told you look tired when you feel just fine, try this one. It's a whisper, not a shout, but the lift it gives, loud and clear. Now, if softness and flow are speaking to you, just wait until you see the next cut. It looks relaxed and free, but it's doing serious structural work under the surface. Style number 4, the face framing shag. Imagine a soft swoop of hair landing right at your cheekbone, like a well-placed brushstroke on a painting. Not just pretty, strategic. That's the power of a well-cut face framing shag. It's not the messy rocker look from the 70s. Today's shag is all about controlled flow, layers that fall where your face needs lift, movement, and a little mystery. Done right, this cut literally redirects attention, away from jawlines, away from heaviness, and up toward your eyes and cheekbones where light naturally lives. Here's how it works. The top layers are feathered and light, never bulky. They move as you move, and the pieces that frame your face, they're cut to hug, not hide. They soften angular features, break up flatness, and create that "what's different about her" kind of glow. I once had a client, warm skin tone, expressive eyes, but always wore her hair in a single-length lob. She looked polished, but stuck. We tried a layered shag that curved in at the temples and tapered just below the chin. The result? Suddenly her eyes popped, her smile lifted, and her entire face looked more open. Even she said, "I feel like I just took a breath I didn't know I was holding." This cut also works wonders with natural waves or curls. The layers bring bounce back without frizz. And for straight hair, a little texturizing spray gives it that effortless "I just woke up like this and it worked" kind of vibe. The shag gives you shape without weight. It's not trying to sculpt your face into something it's not. It's highlighting what's already there, gently, cleverly, like a great friend who knows exactly what compliments to give. And maybe that's the real reason this cut resonates with so many women over 60. It's not trying too hard. It doesn't scream youth. It whispers balance, flow, lightness. And trust me, it turns heads. Now, if you've ever felt like your haircut was too stiff or too perfect, the next one might be your breakthrough. It's softer, choppier, and plays by none of the old rules. Style number 5, the textured bob with movement. Some haircuts whisper. This one winks. The textured bob with movement isn't trying to be dramatic, but it knows what it's doing. It looks easy, casual. Oh, this? I just tossed it around a bit. But every angle, every soft edge, every flick of texture is doing serious work behind the scenes. And the best part? It's the anti-helmet haircut. You know the one, stiff, set, sprayed within an inch of its life. This bob is everything that's not. It has swing, air, bounce. It moves when you do, and better yet, it moves your face upward. Here's how. Instead of hanging straight and heavy, like some traditional bobs, the textured version breaks up the weight with light layering throughout. It removes bulk in all the right places, especially around the jaw and neckline, and adds lift at the crown to draw the eye up. It says, "Here's my face. Notice the good parts." And oh, does it deliver? One client told me, "I haven't been complimented on my haircut in years. Now I can't go anywhere without someone asking me where I got it." Not because it's flashy, but because it flatters her naturally. Like a great outfit you didn't know your closet needed. This cut also adapts like a charm. Want it chic and polished? Blow dry with a round brush. Prefer soft and undone? Let it air dry with a little salt spray and call it a day. It's low maintenance without looking lazy. A rare win, but what makes it a true game changer is this. It gives freedom without sacrifice. You get movement without mess, softness without shapelessness. And that's a hard balance to hit, especially after 60, when so many cuts either try too hard or don't try at all. So, if you've been feeling stuck between safe and severe, this bob breaks the rules just enough to wake things up. And now for something a little quieter, but no less powerful. If you've been craving softness, simplicity, and a sense of home in your haircut, the next one will speak directly to your heart. Style number 6, the medium cut with side bangs. There's something about side bangs that feels brave. Not loud, not trendy, just quietly bold. Like saying, yes, I still want softness, but I also want a little edge. And after 60, that's exactly the kind of nuance many of us are craving. We're not trying to rewind the clock, but we're also not interested in fading quietly into the background. We want hair that moves with us, gracefully, but not passively. That's where the medium cut with side bangs comes in. It's balanced, flowing, and intentionally asymmetrical in the best way. The soft side fringe doesn't cover your face. It guides the gaze. It adds visual interest without overwhelming your features. And when it hits at the right point, usually just at or above the brow, it creates a gentle diagonal that pulls attention upward and inward. I once worked with a woman in her early 70s, quiet, elegant, tired of the same center-parted look she'd worn for over 20 years. We added a side bang and a few soft layers through the mid-length. Nothing radical, but when she looked in the mirror, her reaction said it all. It's still me, just more alive. And that's the thing about this style. It doesn't try to transform you into someone else. It brings you back to yourself, gently, respectfully, but with purpose. This cut also does wonders if you've been self-conscious about your forehead, thinning at the temples, or those few lines that seem to appear overnight. The side bang doesn't hide them. It reframes them, and there's a big emotional difference between hiding and reframing. It's a small shift that often brings a big sigh of relief. Like your haircut is finally meeting you where you are, not where you used to be. So if you've been feeling a quiet longing for softness, ease, and a little unexpected grace, this one might be calling your name. Now, let's wrap this up together with one final reminder about what this whole journey is really about. So here's what all of this really comes down to. You don't need to look younger. You just need a haircut that stops dragging your face and your spirit down. Medium-length styles, when done with intention, don't just sit on your shoulders. They lift, they move, they frame the parts of you that still light up when you laugh, when you connect, when you walk into a room and feel at home in your own presence. This isn't about fixing anything. It's about alignment, about finally seeing in the mirror a version of you that feels honest, confident, and current. Maybe one of these 6 cuts spoke to you. Maybe you've worn one before and didn't realize why it worked. Or maybe you're ready to try something new. Something just bold enough to say, yes, I still care. And yes, I still get to choose how I show up. If any of this resonated, I'd love to know. Which of these styles feels most you right now? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. Because at this stage, it's not about chasing beauty, it's about recognizing it and choosing to wear it well.